Well, hello Capricorn, this is Joe with Divine Daily, and I'm going to do a general tarot reading for you for the month of May 2020. This is a general reading, so it's not about anything specific. We will see where it goes. A few quick notes here. I do read cards that jump out, pop out. I generally don't read reversals in this type of setting. And last, how do you know if this is for you? Obviously, it can't be for every Capricorn out there, but you'll know it because it'll fit with you naturally. You intuitively will know it. You won't have to force it into your circumstances or stretch it to fit. And with that said, let's get started. So what I'm going to do here is just do a basic spread, and then I'm going to clarify cards if need be with another deck if I feel it's necessary. So what you have here for the overall situation here is we have the Five of Swords. So this could be an indication, a feeling of kind of being defeated, or maybe feeling like somebody has maybe done something unfairly to you or underhanded. It might reflect a situation that talks about a certain degree of unfairness or deception. And this could be, keep in mind, this roles can be reversed. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, it could be them. Especially if you're cross-watching. So what's crossing you? Look at that, the Two of Swords. So this is really interesting. Capricorn, you're an earth sign, and this has a lot of right off the bat, we have two cards that are representing swords. And you know, what is challenging you right now in this situation is the inability to probably see things clearly, or to make a decision about your current circumstances that you may find yourself in the month of May. And we are getting close to May, so this could be playing out now, or it could be playing out a little bit later in May. This isn't an exact time frame template, so keep that in mind. So there's this feeling of betrayal and this feeling of dishonesty, and maybe a feeling of having something taken from you, or maybe something was taken from you unfairly. You have a decision to make, most likely, and that decision is something that it looks to be causing some type of struggle. How do you make the right decision when you feel like maybe you don't have all the information? We have the Ace of Wands. So something preceded this situation. It was most likely was something that you was initiated by you. So this Ace of Wands reflects taking a new first step in some area of your life, and that Ace of Wands could be to do with work, career. I don't see this as so much as a relationship type dynamic, but we'll see how the cards play out. But this is really about that first step, creativity, or jumping into something new. And now you might feel like it was a bad decision, or you're just not clear on what's going on. Maybe some people aren't being honest with you, and you may be feeling like your head's a little clouded over this. We have the near future. So you are on both sides of you, in your past and your near future, the Two of Wands. And this is very good. This is indicating like there is progress, there is movement forward. And we have two twos. So, you know, quite often twos can be about choices, decisions, and you know, looking forward to what it is that you are really trying to pull into your current space. So this near future here in the month of May, this is kind of playing out in the month of May. You will come to a point of clarity, and you will be able to make some decisions and move forward once you have all the information. I feel like this is like about a lack of a complete picture, or a lack of having all the facts or information at your immediate disposal, and so you may be left having to wait some things out. But Ten of Cups, and this is for what it is you want. What is that to you would be the best outcome, or the best way for things to play out for you. And so what this is reflecting is this, whatever it is that's going on is really can directly impact your family, those you love, or those that are close to you if you have children. So whatever it is that's going on here that you have to make a decision over is going to have an influence and impact there in that part of your life. And so you're very much aware of that. And so this is probably why you're being hesitant or very careful about what you're doing. And then the foundation of this reading is your subconscious feelings. What is it that you're feeling and thinking? Maybe some of these things aren't directly on the forefront of your mind, but they're nonetheless, they are still a part of what it is that you're thinking about. And so in this position, you have the Priestess. The High Priestess is really about, I almost want to say, like, there's parts of this that you just intuitively know will progress and clear up on their own, but you might be feeling like you have to do something, you have to take some action. But really what I think this is saying is this resolves naturally on its own. Whatever conflict, whatever choices or decisions you have to make in the month of May, it really isn't about you not knowing what to do. It's just more about you trusting your intuition and your own understanding that maybe you really don't know why you feel the way you do, but you're trusting that understanding that it's just a matter of some time passing before you can step forward and move past these blockages or obstacles that are kind of clouding up things for you. And what I see immediately comes to my mind is like an hourglass, and it's almost like you tip the hourglass over, and you know the sand is going to end up on the bottom eventually. You just have to sit there, wait, and watch it. So you might be like in a bit of a spectating mode, like just kind of watching things happen around you. And you know that there's probably not a lot you can do, but you might feel like there's this urgency to make a decision. But I don't think that that's the case. I think this is for you simply a matter of waiting and staying put. We have, so you have a lot of fire in this reading, and you have the Six of Wands here, and this is really about what it is that you need to know, or what it is that you want to know to move forward, or to just feel like you are trusting in the process. And this Six of Wands is like, this is the victory dance. This is saying you know it's coming, you have to wait for it, but when it does come, when you do pass through this doorway, and whether you choose a different, whatever path you choose, you're going to go through, and it's going to be a bit of a like a relief. It's going to be kind of good news that you'll be able to tell people that you're close to. It's going to be success, and you know, it's going to be something that you're going to feel very excited about. And I think this is probably toward the very end of May, you finally progress out of this kind of waiting, whatever it is you're waiting for, and it's going to happen. But let's have a look at what's influencing you in your external environment. And so immediately the first thing I think, because we have the Ten of Cups, and this is in your external environment, what the hidden influences are, or even the influences that are that you're able to see. This is what's driving you in this situation, and this is, to me, your family. You may have young children, a marriage, a pregnancy, or any number of things And this is about your stability and well-being over the long term. And so this is what is your driving force right now with what's going on. What are you most worried about? What is it that probably is keeping you up a little bit or making you a little bit anxious? We have the Queen of Cups. Perhaps some of you, this might be a worry of not feeling like however this progresses or turns out, that it might not bring that sense of satisfaction and fulfillment that you're hoping for. And I get the sense that Capricorns, so many of you have been disappointed so many times that some of you might feel like you tend to just not get too excited about things because you know, you'll believe it when you see it type of attitude. But really you need to flip that around and just say, I'll see it when I believe it, and thus it manifests. And I think this is kind of what you struggle with, is maybe just the doubt, because there have been a number of letdowns over the last 8 months, and those letdowns have kind of just led you to not get too excited about things, especially this prospect of some things turning out in your favor in a very good way. So you have this Queen of Cups, and to me this is a very like I want to call it like soulful. This is like a soulful, heartfelt, just emotional feeling that you have about what it is you have going on here. And this is what you're most worried about, is losing out on this opportunity. For some of you, this is about your devotion to those around you, your family, your children, if you have children, your loved ones. And this is about your very very firm devotion that really is unshooken by anybody or anything. And so you're determined to just pursue what it is that you want out of the situation. And I kind of would like to know more about what this is about. We're going to dig into that some. But in the outcome, look at that. And that's pretty cool. You have the 8 of Coins. This reflects to me work. But it's not a type of work that is it's not the type of work that feels like a chore. This feels like work that you love. This feels like work that I spoke about being devoted, that you're devoted to, passionate about. This is work that is something that you really want more than anything. And I think that this is saying that whatever it is that you're trying to put into motion, whatever it is you're trying to push through and to achieve and have transpire for you, have manifest, to you it is almost like a dream, and it is like almost like a baby to you. This is something that you want very much, and I see that as you know, being a labor of love. This could be, again, about your family. This could be about your work or career or business or any number of those things. We have the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck here, of this deck, and this is really very much about staying true to yourself and adhering to that truth and doing what it is you want, because it brings you the highest potential of fulfillment and passion. And you know that you're not being true to yourself if you're being led by other people to do what it is they want. This is really all about what it is you want. This is all about what you want to connect with in life now. And it almost, this is your time. And we're talking about time again. I brought up the hourglass, but this is really about your time. It's your time to move forward and traverse a number of things that have led you up to this point. And it's something that's very much in your sights. And it's something that's very much going to manifest for you. You have 2 aces, so you have 2 things here that indicate, you know, the Ace of Wands. This is like taking that step and moving forward, taking action, stepping out in faith. And the Ace of Swords is being very clear-minded, being very true to yourself, and being devoted to not only those around you but to yourself. There's an extreme amount of overwhelming feeling to me in this of devotion. There is like this extreme underlying passion of being devoted to a very small circle of people, a very select few people in your life. And this is something that you want to shine through and do for those around you. I think this is, for some of you, this is work related. Some of you, this is family related, but I almost feel like this is kind of business, work, family. This could involve some family business, some family money, some old money. This could reflect some new money. There isn't a lot of things in here to indicate it's really about money, though. This to me is more about an ideal, and that does lead to prosperity. And we're going to clarify some of these and see what we get. But we have the Chariot, and so this was what I drew for the outcome here. You have the 8 of Coins, and this is like what I talked about, being a labor of love. This is a work in progress. This is something that you are passionate and devoted to, and the Chariot is the signal that says this moves forward very fast. But as a word of caution, don't get going so fast that you can't make appropriate decisions. Don't get caught up and overwhelmed by the excitement of some things coming toward you at the end of May with whatever this is about. We're going to also say 7 of Cups, and that again is clarifying on the outcome. Now, 7 of Cups, some people kind of get like, oh, you know, that's not good. And I think that the 7 of Cups is actually a good indicator here, because it tells me that you're aware of the pitfalls, and you're aware of the things that can kind of ensnare you and trap you or lead you down the wrong road. And I think this is really saying that you have an awareness of those things, but to be extra careful. And I did mention that, not to move forward too fast that you forget to see some things and overlook some things. But I think you have an awareness of that, getting caught up in this, it's too good to be true type feeling, and being grounded and realistic. The Ace of Wands was the first card, and you have the Page of Swords. So you may have had something occur that led up to this. Maybe you were, the Page of Swords here, you might have been partnered up with somebody in business, or it could be business kind of romantic, or any dynamic like that. But so you may have received some kind of indication or information or something that really lowered or threatened your integrity, and was calling you to kind of overlook things that are kind of virtuous and important to you. And I think this is where there's a separation that comes in, that you have made the decision probably to take a step out on your own with whatever it is you do in your work life. And I get the feeling it might have been a very scary first step, because you do have people that you are responsible to in your family and home. And this is definitely a very scary time indeed for everybody. With the world events, current events, there's a lot of uncertainty. But I feel like you have this amount of certainty that this is like the path that you are supposed to take. And you have the King of Pentacles. And so this is also saying that this is a slow first step. But it is indeed a first step that is eventually profitable. We did, again, to recap, talk about that indecision and feeling like you have to make a decision, feeling like, you know, somebody was deceptive and did some things wrong, and you want to move forward much quicker than you are in the month of May. But really this is about waiting some things out to resolve for the right timing, the perfect timing, and then it does come through for you. Let's have a look too at the 10 of Cups, which is something I would like to get a little more clarity and insight into that. You have the Devil. Okay, so this is probably signifies that you are, or potentially are, or you're struggling with your thoughts about worry and anxiety and fear over the well-being of your family, your loved ones, those that you're responsible for in life. And so you might have this tendency to go to a negative place, to negative thought patterns and negative thought forms, and maybe even some self-defeating thoughts. And because you are so, like I had mentioned before, so devoted to those around you, that you don't want to have the feeling of letting anybody down, or you don't want to fail the people around you that you love. But realizing that you indeed are so self-aware uh, in this Capricorn, that failure to you really isn't an option, and it's not on the table for you here either. We have the King of Swords also here for the Ten of Cups. And so there's a side of you that is very, I want to say quick-witted and quick with the tongue, but not in a cutting or mean way. But you might be toward yourself. You might be your own worst enemy. And so these people that are close to you very much do depend on you, but they love you and they're rooting for you in this. And let's see, let's clarify one more here. Eight of Wands. So this is very fast movement. And this again is in the position of what is the best outcome for you, what it is that is to you in your mind, in your current frame of mind, would be the best outcome. And so there's a number of messages here. The Eight of Wands, to me, the first thing is you want to move forward quick. You want things to progress very quickly. You don't want there to be any type of holdups, but you are dealing with some type of delay in May with regard to what's going on. But it does come, and it does come quickly, because we eventually do have the Chariot. But there's that time of waiting, that time of having just to almost be like the Hanged Man. And I'm surprised we haven't seen that come out. I'm going to pull a couple more cards and we'll see, though. Four of Swords. Okay, so this is interesting because this was in your foundation. What are you subconsciously thinking about? Maybe you're not seeing or acknowledging that you're subconsciously feeling and thinking a certain way. And I said that this is about having that intuition and knowing that you just kind of have to stay still and just let things work themselves out, because they will, and you will be released. You will move forward, and you'll move forward in the way that you most likely want to. But this here, the Four of Swords with the High Priestess, is, to me, is saying take time out. Enjoy the moment that you're in when you find yourself in May, sitting put. And even though you might be battling that anxiety of wanting to take some kind of action or do something to speed up and hasten your resolution here to move forward, this is saying take that time. And I did say the Hanged Man about kind of being in suspension, but this can be very similar to it. This is saying, though, take time to rest for yourself. Take time to rest and be with the loved ones around you, and to take time and to just recuperate from any past drama that you had. I did say the last 8 months recently in this reading here, and the only reason I said that because I feel like for some of you it's very specific. It's been a specific time frame, 8 months of just a lot of getting to this point to where you separate and cut ties with somebody that has been threatening your integrity. Oh, and we have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, and then this is the last card for the clarifying the High Priestess. This is about cooperation, working together, communication. In this, the way it's laid out to me really just says that there is this element of wanting to cooperate, and perhaps you've had some people that have been not so cooperative with you, and this is really saying to work toward that, to Know know who's on your team, who's playing for your team, who's working with you and who's against you, and to really come draw close to those that are wanting to cooperate with you, that share a similar vision as you do, and those that are like-minded in this situation. And I did again say this seems to be like you might have a very tight, close-knit circle, and those are the people that are going to understand what it is you're thinking, feeling, and saying. And this also indicates that it is a profitable step for you. Down the road here, you do get to that point where that work starts to produce some stability for you. So if you're going into business for yourself, if there's some kind of something that has popped up or cropped up in your life to where you could take advantage of, and this is whether it's about a new job or employment, or this is doing for yourself, working for yourself, whether this is taking a first step, adding something to your repertoire, or a new business in addition to your job. This could be whether you're laid off right now and you have the time to finally put towards something, and maybe some money comes in for some of you that enables you to kind of get the ball rolling. Whatever it is, I think it's very positive, and it leaves me with a good feeling. So without going on and on and on here, Capricorn, I'm going to end this by saying that on the bottom of the deck here, you have the World. And to me, this is like you see that I love the way it's depicted here, because this old man is laying back, smoking a pipe. He was reading a book, and now he's taking a nap. You know, it's what can be better than that? Feeling like you've arrived. And really, to me, this is about closing out some old things in your life and some new things, starting a complete new cycle. And it really is about a time to just enjoy life, enjoy the ride coming up. After, I would say after the month of May, things become more about just enjoying what you're doing and having a good time doing it. And I think that's where this ends up for you going into June for sure. So with that said, Capricorn, this is your reading. If it makes sense, if it fits for you, please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know. I appreciate any feedback I get from you guys, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you guys again. Thank you.